Most welcome to Awaken Citizen Program, session 13. This session also divided in two parts. In part A, students explore our knowledge possibility of realizing a creative vision. And in part B, they explore the possibility of working with collective intelligence. Today in this session, we will explore two of our knowledge possibilities. In part A, the first knowledge possibility we have is realizing a creative vision. In unit 1, we learn about what does it mean to realizing a creative vision. So meet some role models. This is the first slide in front of you. Meet Jamsetji Tata, an Indian businessman who had a creative vision. India must have its own hotels. When Jamsetji Tata think about that, just as an Indian businessman, then India must have its own hotels. So he built the Taj Mahal Hotel, the first Indian owned luxury hotel. This is not an end of his thinking. Now he think about then India must have its own power. So Jamsetji Tata laid the foundations for India's own power plant. This vision became a reality in 1911. That is a Tata Power. He didn't stop his creative vision here. Now he thinks about India must take its own steel. So Jamsetji Tata laid the foundations for India's own steel plant, and this vision became a reality in 1907, Tata Steel. After that, the great person Jamsetji Tata, just as an Indian businessman, had a creative vision that India must have its own research and education institutions. Jamsetji Tata had a creative vision and realized it. He worked for the creation of Indian Institute of Science that opened in 1909. A great creator, Jamsetji Tata, as a businessman who realized his creative vision. Number 1, the first Indian owned luxury hotel. Number 2, India's own research and higher education institution. Number 3 is India's own power plant. And number 4 is India's own steel plant. And he did it. Students, here in the second slide, meet M. Vishweshwarya, an engineer who, as the Diwan of Mysore state in Karnataka, had a creative vision. I want a progressive and developed Mysore state. When he had a creative vision and realized it, he founded Bangalore Agriculture University, a polytechnic institute, Mysore soap factory, Mysore iron and steel works, parasitoid laboratory, State Bank of Mysore, Mysore Chamber of Commerce, and many more. This is the next slide. Here the case 3. Meet Homi Bhabha, a scientist who had a creative vision. India must become a nuclear power. Homi Bhabha, just as a scientist who had a creative vision and realized it. So he started India's nuclear program. He founded the Tromboy Atomic Energy Establishment, which gave India its first nuclear energy reactor. And he founded the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research for Scientific Research. And here in this slide, after independence, our first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru wanted a new city that could be the capital of newly formed state of Punjab. He called in Le Corbusier for this. So meet Le Corbusier, an architect who had a creative vision that India should have a well-planned city. And here meet Le Corbusier, an architect who had a creative vision and realized it. He built the first well-planned modern city in India, the city of Chandigarh. तो स्टूडेंट्स, आज हमने ऐसे लोगों के बारे में जाना जिन्होंने अपनी रचनात्मक परिकल्पना को, अपने सपने को साकार किया। ये सब उन्हीं लोगों के उदाहरण थे जिन्होंने अपने सोच को एक वास्तविक जामा पहनाया। जमशेदजी टाटा, एम विश्वेश्वरैया, होमी भाभा, एल कॉर्बूसियर। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आप ऐसा कार्य नहीं कर सकते, आप भी एक रचनात्मक परिकल्पना को साकार करने का फैसला कर सकते हैं। अगर आपके अंदर भी कोई क्रिएटिव विजन है तो उसे आप भी एक रियलिटी बना सकते हैं। फर्स्ट यूनिट में हमने जाना कि क्रिएटिव विज़न को रियलाइज़ करने का मतलब क्या होता है, यानी कि जब हम क्रिएटिव विज़न अपने अंदर बनाते हैं तो उसे कैसे एक वास्तविक छोर तक लेकर जाते हैं। नाउ इन यूनिट 2 of part A, we know about exploring what happens to us when we realize a creative vision। यानी कि जब हमें क्रिएटिव विज़न का पता चल जाता है, उसके मतलब से हम रूबरू हो जाते हैं, तो क्या होता है। When I realize a creative vision, I awaken my capacity to. I have a clear vision of what I want to create. And be persuading and inspiring myself. Develop tremendous will the focus to steadily move towards realizing my vision. Never lose sight of the goal, whatever be the difficulties or temptations. तो अपनी रचनात्मक परिकल्पना को साकार करने से होता क्या है कि किसी भी चीज़ की रचना करने का एक स्पष्ट विज़न, एक स्पष्ट दृष्टिकोण रखने की क्षमता मेरे अंदर जागृत होती है। दूसरों को प्रेरित करने व समझाने की क्षमता भी मेरे अंदर जागृत होती है। अपनी दृष्टि की दिशा में अद्भुत इच्छा शक्ति से और ध्यान केंद्रित करते हुए मैं तेजी से आगे बढ़ने की क्षमता को भी अपने अंदर जागृत कर सकता हूँ। कठिनाइयों या प्रलोभनों के बावजूद अपने लक्ष्य से ना हटने की क्षमता भी मेरे अंदर जागृत होती है। And here is the exploration 1. Meet Sanjeev and Mohan. When Sanjeev and Mohan saw this land, Sanjeev thinking, this is a useless wasteland. Nothing can be grown here. And on the another way, imagine Mohan's thinking. Mohan, who has a clear vision of what he wants to create. So students, here meet one such a person who, like Mohan, had a clear vision of what he wanted to create. So this is a Kunwar Sen, a civil engineer from Rajasthan, who is considered a visionary in the field of irrigation engineering. Why can't we bring water to this desert land and make it green and fertile? So where others saw nothing in the desert land, Sen imagined a new reality. He had a clear vision of the irrigation canal. He wanted to build a bring water from the Himalayas to the dry lands of the Bikaner. So he built the Rajasthan Canal. So here you can see in the picture Indira Gandhi Canal. And this is the second exploration. Meet Karthik and Ashok. Karthik and Ashok have a vision to change the way people travel in the country. But most people thought they were being unrealistic and their ideas would never work. There is too much opposition to this idea. There are too many people to convince and they are just not able to understand. What if they are right? Maybe it is unrealistic, and what if it doesn't work? So here Karthik said, I better forget about this vision. I wouldn't be possible. So think about student or imagine Ashok's response. Ashok, who is pursuing and inspiring. So here meet one such person who, like Ashok, was pursuing and inspiring. Till early 1900s, most people use horse carriages for travelling. Though the car had been invented, it was too expensive. Ford and his team found a way to make cars at such low cost that common public gave up the horse carriages and started using cars. So this changed the way people traveled in the United States. And here you can see the Henry Ford, who thinks about then why can't we make cars the common means of travel. So when Ford first proposed the new vision, he had to make affordable cars in large numbers, and it was an unthinkable idea for people, but he persuaded and inspired businessmen and experts to work with him on converting this vision into a reality. So here you can see in the picture workers working on an assembly line which allows them to work on many cars in a short time. So here's the another exploration. Meet Amol and Nilesh. Amol and Nilesh have big dreams of setting up a chain of 5-star hotels in the country. But making this dream a reality was not easy. There were many obstacles. So here's Amol is thinking at every step there is some obstacles or the other. First, no one would give money for this. And once I got someone to give money, then the land was a problem, and then the government permissions. I'm tired of this. I think I will just go back to my old job. And now imagine student Nilesh response. Nilesh, who has tremendous will and focus. So meet student one such a person who, like Nilesh, had tremendous will and focus, MS Oberoi. He told his daughter, when you grow up, there will be an Oberoi hotel everywhere you go. So he thinks, I want to build a chain of 5-star hotels. So beginning his career as a hotel clerk, he faced many challenges in his journey towards this dream, but he never gave up. With tremendous will, he overcame every challenge and stayed focused on his vision. And here you can see in the picture Oberoi Grand Hotel, Kolkata, India's first modern 5-star hotel. See the another exploration. Meet Rakesh and Samir. Rakesh and Samir are struggling who are trying to make their vision a reality. At this time, Bipin offers them a high-paying job that would need their brains, but is in a difficult line of work. So Bipin thinks Bipin's offer is exciting, Why not take it up for some time? Such offer may not come again. And Rakesh is thinking, I need the money now. I can come back to my dream later. So students, imagine Sameer's response. Sameer, who never loses sight of the goal. Meet one such a person who, like Sameer, never lost sight of his goal, Walt Disney. He created the modern world of cartoon films. He built Disneyland, the first of its kind. So Walt Disney thinks, why can't children have a whole world of their own to enjoy and play in? When Walt Disney was still struggling with making cartoon films, trying to make his ends meet, he got high-paying job offers from people. But he didn't get confused by these offers and lose sight of his goal. He rejected them all and stayed on the path to make his creative vision a reality. So here you can see the picture of Disneyland. So students, thus when they realize our creative vision, they awaken their capacities to have a clear vision of what he wants to create, be pursuing and inspiring like Henry Ford, and develop tremendous will and focus to steadily move towards realizing my vision like MS O'Brien. Never lose sight of the goal, whatever be the difficult or temptation like Walt Disney. तो आप भी कह सकते हैं कि जैसे इन लोगों ने किया, मैं भी किसी भी रचनात्मक परिकल्पना को साकार कर सकता हूँ या कर सकती हूँ। मैं किसी भी चीज़ की रचना करने का स्पष्ट दृष्टिकोण, स्पष्ट विजन रखने की क्षमता को जागृत कर सकती हूँ, जैसे कंवर सेन ने किया। मैं दूसरों को प्रेरित करने व समझाने की क्षमता को जागृत कर सकता हूँ, जैसे हेनरी फोर्ड ने किया। मैं अपनी दृष्टि की दिशा में, अपने विज़न के डायरेक्शन में अद्भुत इच्छा शक्ति से और ज़्यादा ध्यान केंद्रित करते हुए तेज़ी से आगे बढ़ने की क्षमता को जागृत कर सकती हूँ, MS ओब्रॉय की तरह। मैं कठिनाइयों या प्रलोभनों के बावजूद अपने लक्ष्य से ना हटने की क्षमता को भी जागृत कर सकता हूँ या कर सकती हूँ, वॉल्ट डिज्नी के जैसे। सो पार्ट ए के यूनिट 1 में हमने जाना कि हम किस तरह से अपने क्रिएटिव विज़न को रियलाइज़ कर सकते हैं, उसका मतलब क्या होता है। पार्ट ए की दूसरे यूनिट में हमने जाना कि जब हम रियलाइज़ कर लेते हैं अपने क्रिएटिव विज़न को तो क्या होता है। Now come on to the part B, unit 1. What does it mean to work with collective intelligence? So in part B, unit 1, what does it mean to work with collective intelligence? Let's explore this further. Collective intelligence allows mankind to do things that would have been impossible to achieve by a single individual. So let's see some examples here. Here is a good example in case 1. The Hivre Bazar village community, a community uses its collective intelligence to develop itself. The small village of Hivre Bazar in the Ahmednagar district of Maharashtra had poor rains, no proper means of earning or schools, and high migration of people to cities. So here a community uses its collective intelligence to develop itself. The community sets a goal for itself. In 1989, the youth of the village decided to bring in change and prosperity. They chose Popat Rao Pawar, an educated youth from their village, as their sarpanch. The community thinks together and decides what problems are to be solved. The villagers, under the leadership of the sarpanch, held a Gram Sabha to identify the problems they were facing, like frequent droughts, alcoholism, crimes, etc. They also collectively decided on what needs attention first. For example, they thought the highest priority went to the village schools, since they decided the fate of the future generations. यानी सबसे ज़्यादा प्रायोरिटी उन्होंने किसको दी? स्कूल को, क्योंकि वही भविष्य को किसी भी जगह के किसी भी यूथ को, या आप कह सकते हैं इस छोटी से जो कम्युनिटी ये गांव था, इसके फ्यूचर को तय कर सकता था. So community organizes itself into different specialist teams. Together they planned several initiatives like water conservation, new school buildings, cleaning roads, closing liquor shops, etc. They took help from banks to finance businesses and inspired all villages to volunteer for different work teams. So a community uses its collective intelligence as each team works independently and the collective goal is realized. All these different teams work together to build trenches, to capture water, adopted new irrigation methods, etc. So this community uses its collective intelligence to develop itself, and for that the community sets a goal for itself, and second, the community thinks together and decides what problems are to be solved, and the third step, community organizes itself into different specialist teams, and the fourth step taken by them, as each team works independently, the collective goal is realized. So in 20 years the village became green and the income of villagers increased. See the another example, Wikipedia, a free online encyclopedia using collective intelligence to build an online free encyclopedia for all. The seeds of Wikipedia came from a small group. In 2001, Larry Sanger and Jimmy Wales, with a small group of supporters, decided to launch Wikipedia. They wanted to build a free online encyclopedia which would take contributions from ordinary people, not experts, from all over the world using a software called Wiki. To build an online free encyclopedia for all, the group develops a model for a website in which anyone can contribute. The team thought together to find a new ways to run such a new kind of website that supports collaborative work. They decided that the website will be managed by volunteers and will not earn profit. They made a new set of rules to enable people from across the world to work collectively on the website. To build an online free encyclopedia for all, 77,000 volunteers work collaboratively to create and manage Wikipedia every day. As the huge number of articles kept coming in front, world over, a community of decided users volunteered to manage them. For example, review articles, edit them, check for quality, and make sure that no one tries to spoil the pages. They used online tools like live chat, peer voting, etc. to coordinate with each other. And today, more than 33 million articles are freely available in 285 languages on Wikipedia, and this is a tribute to collective intelligence. तो यहाँ देखा आपने कि सबके लिए फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट या निःशुल्क ऑनलाइन विश्वकोश का निर्माण करने में, जिसमें 77,000 से भी अधिक लोगों ने अपना योगदान दिया, और आज विकिपीडिया कम से कम 285 भाषाओं में 330 लाख से भी अधिक लेख और निःशुल्क वो आपको उपलब्ध कराता है. तो इसके लिए सामूहिक बुद्धिमत्ता ने किस प्रकार से काम किया, जिससे फर्स्ट आपका स्टेप था कि विकिपीडिया का जो मूल विचार था, जो सीज जर्मिनेशन था, वो कहाँ से आया? एक छोटे समूह से आया. इस समूह ने वेबसाइट के लिए एक मॉडल विकसित किया जिसमें कोई भी अपना योगदान दे सकता था. वहाँ पर किसी एक्सपर्ट्स को नहीं रखा गया, यानी एक कॉमन पीपल आकर वहाँ पर अपने जो चीज़ों में जो कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहता था, योगदान कर सकता था. 77,000 ऐसे स्वयंसेवक सहयोगपूर्वक विकिपीडिया को बनाने में लगे रहे, उसे प्रबंधित करने के लिए वो प्रतिदिन कार्य करते रहे। और आज पूरे वर्ल्ड की 285 भाषाओं में 330 लाख लेख निःशुल्क उपलब्ध हैं। यही हमारी सामूहिक बुद्धिमत्ता को एक श्रद्धांजलि है। एंड हियर आर मोर एग्जाम्पल्स लाइक विकिपीडिया, open source software built by different programmers all over the world, and this is free to use, change and share. Example VLC player or Mozilla Explorer. Collaborative filmmaking also. Some films are created by combining creative ideas and collaborating among directors, people shooting parts of the film across the world, and collaborating learning also. These are several online initiatives like the website courses, where students across the world take free online courses. Thanks to all the collaborations among universities and professors and the world over, the people came together to learn from each other, teach each other and spread education across the world. So all these are the examples of collective intelligence. So here is the exploration 1 in front of you. Ants are an example of collective intelligence. Can you think and why? So this is the summary, students. In today's session, we explore two of our possibilities. Number 1 is realizing a creative vision. When I realized a creative vision, I awakened my capacity to have a clear vision of what I want to create. Be persuasive and inspiring. Develop tremendous will and focus to steadily move towards realizing my vision. Never lose sight of the goal, whatever be difficulties or temptation. And the second possibility is working with collective intelligence. Collective intelligence allows mankind to do things that would have been possible to achieve by a single individual. तो इस सेशन में पहले तो हमने रचनात्मक परिकल्पना को साकार करना सीखा या जाना। जब मैं किसी भी रचनात्मक परिकल्पना को साकार करता हूँ तो किसी भी चीज़ की रचना करने का एक स्पष्ट दृष्टिकोण की क्षमता को मैं जागृत करता हूँ, दूसरों को प्रेरित करने व समझाने की क्षमता को जगाता हूँ, अपनी दृष्टि और अपनी विज़न की दिशा में अद्भुत इच्छा शक्ति से ध्यान केंद्रित करते हुए तेजी से आगे बढ़ने की क्षमता को जागृत करता हूँ और कठिनाइयों व प्रलोभनों के बावजूद लक्ष्य से न हटने की क्षमता को जागृत करता हूँ। सामूहिक बुद्धिमत्ता से कार्य करना, जो कि हमारी दूसरी संभावना थी, जो काम एक व्यक्ति द्वारा पूरा करना असंभव होता है उसे सामूहिक बुद्धिमत्ता से पूर्ण किया जा सकता है। यानी एक टीम बनाकर एक इम्पॉसिबल वर्क को भी पॉसिबल किया जा सकता है। एंड दिस इज़ द एंड ऑफ सेशन 13। स्टूडेंट्स, अब तक हम 13 सेशंस कर चुके हैं। 16 सेशंस हमारे हैं, अभी 3 और हमारे अभी पेंडिंग हैं। तो कोशिश करेंगे हम कि उन्हें टिल मार्च तक फिनिश कर लें। अगर आपके इस में कंप्लीट नहीं होते तो अप्रैल तक आप उसे फिनिश कर सकते हैं, जिससे कि मई से हम अपनी क्लास 8 के लिए भी ACP के सेशंस स्टार्ट कर लें। So bye bye students, have a nice day to all.